meet the 12 women who will be contesting this World Championship Discus final. Daisy Osacchio from Italy, national record holder. Selena Osere Morales from Cuba. This is her first World Championship final. Well, this woman, it's her 10th World Championships, her 9th final. Milena Robert Michon of France. Liliana Cha of Portugal, never medalled at global level. She has been 5th in the Olympic Games. She was 6th in the World Championships last year. Laulauga Tausaga from the United States of America, former Pan-American under-20 champion. Another athlete making her debut in this final. Janice Kraft has made the final previously, but it dates all the way back to 2015. Second of the third athletes from Germany, Claudine Witter. She was the bronze medalist last year on home soil in Munich. Jorinde van Klinken from the Netherlands. She was an amazing 4th in Oregon. She just slipped out the medals in the real depth of the competition. And the 3rd of the German competitors, Kristin Prudence, the Olympic and the European silver medalist over the past few years. Well, this is one of the athletes who knows what it's like to get her hands on a World Championship medal. She's got 5 of them at home. Sandra Perkovic of Croatia, the reigning world champion from China, Bin Feng. And if you had to pick a favourite, very difficult. Some amazing women in this field, but maybe Valarie Allman from the USA with a world lead and the farthest throw in qualification. Valarie Allman could just have the edge over the rest of the competitors going into this women's discus final. Well, it will be Claudine Witter from Germany who will start proceedings. That she's using some chalk there. A lot of women do this, but especially on a very hot, humid, sticky evening. And I can imagine that is a must for most of these women. So remember, it was 64 meters to make this final. Witter, what can she do in the first? Well, it does surpass the 60-meter line, and she does get the white flag. So Claudine Witter does get this World Championships off to a good start. There is a measurement just over 60 meters, 60 meters 29. Well, it won't challenge her season's best. That does stand some 6 meters in advance of that. Didn't see any big throws in the men's equivalent, other than Christian Che, who really did just get off to a great start. But they kind of came round 4, 5 and 6, deep into the second half of the competition, as Liliana Cha starts her competition. She sticks her tongue out, didn't make much of that effort. We're very much guided by a lot of these athletes' facial expressions. I think it was Discus of Lithuania last night. He was entertaining me with his facial expressions. 58 meters 86 for Cha in round 1. National record holder Daisy Osacchio from Italy, the World University Games winner in 2019. I'm pretty sure that did take place in Italy, so great for her. Oh, and you saw that one right into the netting. always an indication that the athletes have just let go of the release point a little bit too soon. We did see a few fouls in the first round in the men's equivalent last night. Tausaga then will have to wait for round 2 to really show her presence in this competition. Sandra Perkovic of Croatia. She's used to coming out, hitting it hard in the first round. She's got such a good track record. 2-time Olympic champion, 5 World Championship medals back at home. 1 gold, 2 silvers and 3 bronzes. Oh, and Perkovic really suffers the same fate as Tausaga from Italy. Right-handed thrower. Of course, goes into the right-hand side of the netting. So that's not the start Perkovic wanted. She is a big-time performer. As is this woman, first senior World Championship final, but she has medalled at World Youth level and World Junior level. That's the under 18 and under 20 categories. So Morales from Cuba, that looks good. Well, that is the best throw we've seen so far out of the 5 women who have had their first round throw. Still doesn't look like it is approaching 64 metres, which was that automatic standard to make this final. 62.31 it is for Morales. There's not much time to take a breather between all of these women stepping up into the circle for their attempt. Olympic and European silver medalist Kristin Pudens from Germany. Let's see, she's already got the discus in the palm of her hand. Ready to get her World Championship final campaign underway. Very, very tall athlete. She's adopting a real wind-up stature from low to high. And that is good for Pudens. But she allows herself a little bit of a smile there. That throw probably won't feature amongst the medalist once we get to that stage late in the competition, but it's a solid start for Pudens. This woman went out in excess of 67 metres 2 days ago. And we saw on the BT at the beginning of the programme, she celebrated that one, she liked it. Has gone out to over 70 metres this year, 70.25, against a personal best of 71.46, which came last year. 2021 and 2022 were real years coming of age of Valarie Allman. Oh, wow. Well, Allman likes that one, and so she should. Well, that is certainly further than the 67 metres 12 that she achieved in qualification. Allman has come out hot in this women's discus final. .68 metres 57. Well, that is medal territory. Bin Feng, when she won that title last year in Oregon, she won it with a throw of 69.12. So Allman almost there already in round 1. And Feng really up for this one. Long levers, so important in this event. And followed by the shout. Well, it won't challenge Allman's, but it'll certainly go into second position. A real interesting athlete, Feng. She went into that World Championships last year with just one competition under her belt. She had achieved 66 metres. That's about the distance she's already achieved this year, but she's competed a lot more this year. Here we go, season's best for Feng. 66.97. Well, this woman certainly knows how to peak for a global final. Shanice Kraft of Germany said in the introduction she has made a final before. It was some 8 years ago in Beijing, and just looking if she managed to maintain her balance there. I think she has been given the white flag, so that one will be a valid one. Just looking at that tape, that support on her shoulder. So tough, this event, on the joints, the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the ankles. They all really are so tough, these women. You've got to have the skill, you've got to have the technique, you've got to have the power, you've got to have the prowess as well. That was 63.59 for Kraft. Jorin van Klinken of the Netherlands, 4th in Oregon last year, and what about that? Van Klinken is a real powerhouse of this event. She isn't as tall as some of the other competitors. Bin Feng has got to be one of the tallest athletes out there. But she really does get some power, some trajectory behind that discus. 63.93 for Van Klinken. That's good enough to go into 3rd position. So athlete 11 and athlete 12 coming up. Tausaga of the United States of America, one of 2 American women to make this final. Really handy there to see that graphic. World ranking of number 8. Indicates she's a real consistent performer. She was supposed to make this final, and she did. And that one does veer out of the sector. So it will be a foul for Tausaga of the USA. Daisy Asakwe, she put it into the netting, didn't she? And so did Perkovic. That was an early release for them, as opposed to a late release of the discus from Tausaga. Well, this woman, I've got to say, she's a couple of years older than myself, and I hung my spikes up 7 years ago. This is her 10th World Championship. I made it to 6, which is pretty good. Just unbelievable longevity. Melina Robert Michon. She's got all the experience, but that one really fell short, well short of the 60-metre line. Just didn't get any height, unfortunately. And I think she's used all of that experience. I think she's just walked outside the front of the circle. Oh, indeed, she didn't. It was measured at 53.34. Daisy Asakwe from Italy. It was a foul for her in the first. 9 women got themselves a mark after the first round. And Asakwe has got herself a mark now. It is over the 60-metre line. maybe a metre or so in advance of that. Indeed, it's just come up, 61 metres 13. Oh, she's hanging on to an automatic extra 3 throws at the moment. I'd be very surprised if 61 metres 13 is good enough for a further 3 throws, but let's see. Sandra Perkovic will use all her experience in round 2. She wants to get a safe one out there. I don't think anything that Perkovic does would be safe. She's very, very competitive. She'll be looking to take a medal home from this championship. She'll want it to be the gold. And that just stays inside the sector. Oh. Well, I can see 2 judges looking at that one. Yep, she shakes her head. I'm not sure what that one means. She really, really was keeping her focus on that, and it was very, very close to the left-hand sector. I'm going to say she was half a metre or less inside that sector. Yeah, just not clicking for Perkovic at the moment. But she has gone out to 66 metres at 57. Which, unbelievable. Melina Robert-Michon from France is our 12th and final competitor to round up round 2 in this women's discus final. Well, it was a slow to fast wind up. There was almost no middle section. She just got through that throw very, very quickly. There was almost a beginning and an end. I don't know where the middle bit was, but look at that. Look how fast that arm is coming through. And I think she'll be happy with that one. Has she moved herself up into the top 8? And indeed she has. 7th position at 63.46. Some 10 metres improvement from her first to her second round. Robert-Michon in her 9th World Championship final. So round 3 it is. Claudine Witter of Germany gets us underway. She's in 8th position. Oh, and I think that one was a good one for Witter. Just trying to see what she's already recorded. She's got a 62 at 51. Well, that certainly looks like it's gone out further than that. I'm sure she doesn't want to be holding on to that 62.51, hoping to get through to that final. She'll be hoping she could have improved on it. And she has. She's still in 8th position, but 63.19. That was a significant improvement. Another 69 centimetres on the board for Witter. That could prove really, really valuable. Liliana Cha of Portugal. Well, she needed that one. 58.86 in the first, followed by a foul in the second. We've just seen what it takes to get into that top 8. Witter currently holding that with 63.19. Tausaga of the United States. This is a very, very important throw for her. She needs to launch an absolute monster to stay in this competition, and she has! All right, she shouts, all right. Well, that was more than all right. That has just got her an extra 3 throws. Tausaga, when the pressure was on, she came through.
Oh my God!
I'm loving the pure emotion. This is what sport is all about. Digging deep, having to find your very best.
Let's go!
She was about to pack her bag, and it's a personal best. 65, 56 centimeters.
Now you go to the regular start. Okay. All right? Start working on it now.
They've played their part in this discus final. Nice craft of Germany. 6th position, 65.03. She's just more than half a metre to get up and challenge for one more position. Really handy there that we can see the lines indicating championship record and what it takes to make that gold, silver and bronze medal positions so far. So 65.03 is her best. Remember, she's 65.56 to move up. Well, it's a 65.47, so she's closing in Tausaga. Well, I could hear Allman wiping her feet there. We saw the circle getting brushed earlier. There's mats to make sure these athletes don't bring any debris into the circle with them. Oh, and that was huge from Allman! I think that one's the farthest throw we've seen this evening. I thought her previous was 69 metres or so. It fell just short, 68.79. Well, to the naked eye, that one looked marginally further. Are we going to see a 69-metre throw? The first one of the evening. Indeed we are. 69 metres 23. Allman is here. She's ready. You've almost got to give yourself half a step gap between yourself and the front of the circle to be able to do that. Unless Perkovic, who uses every inch thanks to that great skill. And Klinken in the 5th round. Still hanging on with that 64.47. Now that one's further. Yes, indeed it is, a season's best. So it's round 5, and what about that? 67.20. Van Klinken. She's knocked Perkovic out of the medals at this stage of the competition. And it's a crucial 2 centimetres further than the reigning champion Bing Beng as well. But what about this woman? Tausaga. That was a huge one in the 4th. But it was a foul, and she stays inside the circle this time. What has she done? Tausaga! Well, even Tausaga cannot believe what she's just produced. Well, certainly Tausaga has gone into the silver medal position. Is it enough to take the gold medal position? Well, what has this American done? She has 69 meters 49.
That's it! That's it! That is it!
69 49.
That's it!
What amazing scenes we're seeing. She'd already gone out to a personal best this season, 65.46. She's just put 4 meters on that personal best in one evening alone. Well, that is a thing of dreams for Tausaga. As Christian Pudens of Germany gets her 5th round underway. Well, it's a magic round 5 I talked about the men's shot put a couple of nights ago when everything came into round 5 in the World Championships last year. We didn't need to wait for round 5 this year. Ryan Krauser was number 1 from the word go. But look at that, Tausaga, 4 meters. Personal best in the World Championship final. Something no discus thrower has ever done before, male or female. Bin Feng also been pushed out of those medals so far, but has she just got herself back in there? Well, that line is very, very handy. Yes, she has. Certainly from that graphic, it would suggest she has. So 67.20 is the figures that Van Klinken from the Netherlands has gone out to. A season's best, so we know it's in advance of 67.18, which was her season's best. 67.41. Feng is back in the medals. Sandra Perkovic doesn't know what it's like to go home empty-handed. She was 4th last year in Oregon. That was one of the first times she's experienced that. How dear she would love. I'm sure at this stage she would take any colour of silverware home with her. 67.41 it's going to take. Oh no, and that was slow, it was laborious. It was a real short step across the circle. Oh, and she knew straight away. Sandra Perkovic returning home to Croatia for the 2nd year in a run without that global medal. Well, the good thing about athletics at the moment is a global championship almost every year. We've got the big one next year, the Olympic Games, of course, in Paris, and another World Championship to follow. Doreen Van Klinken then, one last attempt for her to get on the podium. Oh, it's decent, but just short. She's had a good evening, has the Dutch woman. She's gone out to a season's best of 67.20. Well, she put her hands up more in hope, I think, than anything. She is ranked world number 3 on throws this year. That was 66.97. So it was her 2nd farthest throw. But our medalists have been decided. If Feng cannot improve to 69.24, that's because Allman has got so many big throws backed up. She will go home with a bronze medal. Oh, and how far has that one gone? Well, it is going to be the bronze for the reigning world champion. She consolidates her form with a bronze medal here in Budapest. And once again, she finds her best form at the championships. I think she has thrown further again. Well, that's the 3rd time we've seen that graphic during this competition. Season's best for Bin Feng, 68.20. That bronze medal has her name on, or it will have her name on very soon. All the athletes get their name engraved on those beautiful medals. Allman. She went home last year with a bronze medal. She's upgraded it to a silver, but I know she would love to win this title. So 69.49 she's looking for. That was very quick in the circle. Oh, and it falls just short. Well, what about this for a series from Allman? 68.57, 66.94, 68.79, 69.23. She dropped to a 64.60 and backed it up with another 68.61. If there was a medal for consistency, this woman would have it. But there we are, that is confirmation. Tausaga will be crowned the world champion. Oh, and look at the emotion. Will she be able to hold her composure? Will it be another big throw? Or will she just finish the throw and just be so satisfied with her effort there this evening? It's another huge one. Tausaga has put together the best 3 throws of her career on the most important evening of her life thus far. Well, the sheer emotion of the moment. 68.36. As Sandra Perkovic congratulates our new world champion in the women's discus throw.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Well, this is where the celebrations can really start to begin. I don't think Tausaga is going to be sleeping very much this evening. It's going to take her a couple of days to let it sink in what feat she's just achieved. As Valarie Allman will go home once again to the United States of America with some silverware on the global stage. You're a world champion. Yes, you are, Laulauga Tausaga, the champion of the world. But what an emotional evening for everyone who's been involved in this woman's career, no doubt. As Bin Feng once again gets her hands on another medal. She's really proven that any time you get into a global championships, rip up the world's best list. It's about what happens on the evening. Well, these are the images that will be broadcast all over the world. That Star-Spangled Banner. We expected one of them for sure. We expected it to be Valarie Allman. And Tausaga. Well, it just shows you when you come to a championship, you peak, you know the dates that you've got to peak for all year long. It just shows you, forget the form book, it's all about the preparation that you've been putting in. And I wonder whether there's any insights. I wonder whether there's some things that have been going really, really well for this woman this year.
Sorry for the headache. I gave you a crappy practice.
And I love to see this. Just showing her appreciation to the officials. They work so hard during this championship. And I think this is probably something that this woman has never experienced before, just having so many cameras wanting to take her photo. She's not used to being in the limelight. I'm going to go through some of her credentials. She's a good athlete, of course she is. She was second in the US National Championships. That was, of course, was behind Allman. This is her first World Championship final. Never made it to the top 8 at global level before, and she comes in #1. Let's not forget how significant her third throw was. She started #11 on the order. She was halfway through packing her bag up. She was going to be one of the 4 women going home early, watching on maybe from the stands to see the final 8 really fight it out for those last 3 medals. And she got herself into that top 8, and she got herself to the top of the podium. There it is, that instant medal moment. And maybe this woman, more than anybody else at those World Championships, needed and appreciated that instant medal moment. It makes it real. Well, we will be able to wrap up the whole of the results from the 2023 World Athletics Women's Discus Final. There are your medalists: gold, silver and bronze, Tausaga, Allman and Feng. Just the one personal best out there this evening, and she beat it 3 times. Our new world champion, the women's discus, Laulauga Tausaga from the United States of America.